why did Axel throw the fight against Miguel? Now, some of you will be like, no he didn't, Miguel won it fair and square. And I would love to say that's true, however the evidence just doesn't support that. In the first round of the fight, we see Miguel take a 5-0 lead.
Holy shit, Diaz, you're on fire.
And you can see the shock on Sensei Wolf's and Terry Silver's face. They know he's not trying.
First Malik, now Kovacevic. What the hell's wrong with them?
So, Wolf gives him a pep talk and we see the real Axel in the second round. He scores 15 points and Diaz can get nowhere near him, never mind trying to score a point.
This is right, Sensei. I thought I had him.
Then, in the third round, Axel isn't trying. If anything, he's actually trying to get hit. And yes, Diaz is definitely fighting better. One of his best fighting performances ever, and it makes for an amazing underdog story.
Knockdown! Where?
However, Axel did throw the fight. There's even that moment in the third round where he's told exactly what Diaz is going to do, but he chooses to ignore the advice and do something completely different.
Now! Now! Now!
Even though we know if he wanted to, he could definitely execute the move. So the question becomes, why did Axel throw the fight? And I believe it's because of many reasons, not just one. So let's go through them. Firstly, the obvious one, Sam.
Your dojo's pretty great.
Thank you. Your dojo's pretty good.
Now, we know from earlier on in Season 6 that Axel has major feelings for Sam.
Whoa, no.
I'm sorry, I thought...
No, I have a boyfriend.
And that he really cares what Sam thinks about him. And coming into the fight, Sam is definitely not happy with him after what happened with Robbie. I mean, just look at this stare down.
Please remain calm.
On top of the stare down, after the fight, Sam then decides she's not going to do her fight.
Samantha LaRusso has elected not to fight.
And just look at how Axel reacts to the news that Sam isn't going to do her fight. He really doesn't know how to process it. I think all these thoughts he's having about Sam makes him definitely not want to fight and definitely not want to hurt Diaz. Talking of Sam, that moves us on to our second reason. He doesn't want to see another death or someone get seriously hurt. In episode 10, we see that crazy brawl where Quan is fighting Axel, and the only reason those two are fighting is because Axel saves Sam from Quan. But in the end, Quan accidentally impales himself. This trauma of seeing someone die would affect anyone, never mind Axel, who may blame himself for what happened. Look at both the fights Axel's in after episode 10 versus Robbie and versus Miguel. He's holding back and taking a lot more hits. I mean, before these two fights, he was described as untouchable.
What was this dude made in the lab? He's like a mix between the Winter Soldier and Frankenstein's monster.
But in these two fights, he's looking far from that. The next reason I think he throws the fight is to get back at Sensei Wolf.
Why are you smiling?
We know from earlier on in the season that Sensei Wolf is brutal, especially to Axel. And throughout Season 6 we see Axel blindly obey Sensei Wolf's orders, more out of fear than anything.
So you will not give them a choice. Eyes on me!
However, when Sensei Wolf tells Axel to injure Robbie and he executes it, it's just too much for Axel. Axel is a good guy and this way of fighting just doesn't sit right with him. And so he doesn't want to fight if it means Sensei Wolf wins. This becomes especially clear when Wolf tells him to target Diaz's back.
His spine has been injured once before. If targeted correctly, it can be broken.
Which nicely moves us on to the final reason, and that is Tori's win.
Welcome to the Valley.
Tori unexpectedly beat Zara in the girls' final. Which is way more believable than Miguel's win. Just look at episode 10 for evidence.
Kiss this, bitch!
Anyway, when Tori dramatically beat Zara, it puts the points difference within reach.
With her win, Cobra Kai is closing the gap on the Iron Dragons.
which allows Axel to throw the fight. Had it been clear that there was no way Cobra Kai could catch the Iron Dragons, I think Axel would have just gone and demolished Diaz, as he would have been able to win a solo title for himself, as his result would have had no effect overall. But as the door was slightly ajar, Axel had the opportunity to throw the fight, and that's what he did, but trying to make it look as believable as possible. So all those reasons are why I believe Axel threw the fight. And once he threw the fight, he knew he could defy Wolf, which allowed him to then make the decision to be able to leave the dojo that he's been a part of since he was a kid.
I am ashamed to be your sensei.
You are ashamed? I'm ashamed to be your student. But I never have to feel that shame ever again.
But what do you guys think? Do you think Axel threw the fight, or do you just think Miguel had a once-in-a-lifetime performance? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments.
I'll be there to help you shine.